what's going on, guys? Welcome. Welcome to Sunday Night Charts with Jim of All Trades. Good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you guys are well. I got some bearish news. I got some bullish news. We're going to look at the charts tonight and see where Bitcoin might be going. Guys, this world is crazy. Where is Joe Biden? Trump got shot. Biden's missing now. We got a weird election going on. Where's Bitcoin in all this? Man, it's crazy. Well, we're going to think about it with you tonight and look into the charts and say, okay, what are the charts showing us? What to look for if you're a bear? What if you look for if you're a bull? And how you can stay as neutral as you can be in an uncertain market. So hope you guys are well. Don't forget, I'm not here to give you financial advice. I would never, ever do that. I would simply come into you my thoughts via Elliott wave theory. Show you my perspective through an Elliott wave lens. We're going to look at wave structure, guys. And the wave structure from Elliott wave theory points the direction of the market. Tells what the psychology is doing. If you add Elliott wave with a market maker understanding of market maker maneuvers, then you got even a better look at the market. So we'll look at the world through a manipulated, rigged market's eyes as well. All right, guys, we're gonna say hello to whoever's here. Let me say hi to you. What's up, Mido? Good to see you. I hope. Thanks for watching those old videos, man. I hope they're helping you out with learning Elliott wave theory. I made them years ago and did a free Thursday night charts. Thursday night, it was night school, I think I called it. So yeah, a bunch of us met and we went over Elliott wave theory. What's up, Hugo Calories? What's up, man? Steven, how's things over there in your part of the woods? I hope you're doing well. Durkham, hey buddy. Daniel L, hello. Crypto Fever, how's life there in the UK, bud? You doing all right? That's Joe Coco. That's Joe Coco. What's up, buddy? And hey, there's Merle and Kimo Sabi. What's up, man? Thanks for being here always. Appreciate your faithfulness every week. Let me know how the audio's doing. I'm not going to do video. I really don't have a very good background. I don't have a setup here that I like. So as far as the aesthetics of a live stream, so I'm not going to let you see me. But I got a mic set up. I got internet access. Everything's looking good. Hopefully the stream's looking good to you guys. Let me know. And what's up, James Bond? How's the dentistry there in Puerto Rico? You people paying you in Bitcoin yet? All right. Well, hey. Hope everything is well. Let's look at the charts tonight. Let's jump in. I've said hello to everybody. There's 27 of you here. Hit those likes. Let me know. Let YouTube know you should recommend. Yeah, my world's kind of upside down, Stephen. We're looking for a place to live long term. We had to get out of our house. We had a cash buyer. We had to get out in 2 weeks. We got out and put everything in storage. We had some very, very good friends of ours let us have their basement area so that we could have a place to crash until we find a place to rent. We're in the process of doing that now. So our world's a little upside down. I've had crazy amounts of work lately, as well as trying to find a place to live. We're getting ready to go see Dad in Virginia the next couple of weeks. So we got lots going on in our world as well. What's going on in y'all's world out there? Where are you from? And what's your life been like? It's been crazy times here. All right, guys, let me show you. Let me talk about what I think about, what I look at when I look at this chart. Okay, and you can do with it what you will, but I'll just share you thoughts that I have. Okay, so let's zoom out and look at the daily chart. I look at that chart and what I see, what jumps out at me, is that there is this three-wave thing right here. There's this three-wave pullback. That three-wave pullback was accompanied by hidden bullish divergence. Hidden bull right there. Okay. I see also this wave looks like a 1-2. This looks like a 3. This three-wave pullback looks like a wave 4, and I guess they're in the process of making a wave 5. Now that's the low-hanging fruit. That's what my brain wants to say. Okay? In other words, just looking at wave structure, that's what I want to. That's the way I want to interpret it, and I think that's a fine interpretation. I think it is fine to look at this and say, hey, yeah, you got a wave 1, a wave 2, a 3, a 4, and now we're expecting 5. And that would be a 5-wave move. We're in the middle of this wave 5, and things are going as expected. Okay. The problem, the alarms that are going off in my mind, is that what usually looks obvious on the chart is a principle I generally trade by. If it looks obvious on the chart, then I'm not looking at the right count. That the more obvious the move, the less likely that move is going to play out. Okay? In other words, if something looks really good, like really good, and you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely what it is, it most likely is not that. So that's something. How many of you have experienced that same thing? That you're looking at something, you're like, oh yeah, that's got to be this or that, and it looks pretty. Yeah, right, Chemo, too pretty, right? When something is too pretty, my red flags, just my spidey sense, my tradie sense, just goes off, and I'm like, you know what? This is probably not the case. So guys, let me warn you right now and say that I know that a lot of you want to look at this and say, yeah, we're probably going up and we're getting ready to go to the moon. Bitcoin's about to go to the moon. It could. It might. But in my experience, when something looks that good, too good, then it probably is too good. So then what I want to do is say, okay, what else could it be? What else could be going on here? What else, from a wave perspective, might be happening? Okay, so let's dive into that. So first off, Moon Boys out there, here you go. There's the Moon Boy count right there. We're looking at an impulse wave, and I'm looking for the 5th wave. I would expect it to be, if this is a 5th wave, I would expect that wave to be extended. Are we going to go straight up from here? Likely not. More likely, no. More than likely, we are going to get some kind of a pullback in this range before we go hit the high. So that pullback could take, it could take, shoot, what I just drew right there on the chart, that move right there, that little move right there on the daily chart that I just drew, takes us to September 5th. Okay, so that's a month worth of price action, just that little bit of a correction. So what you need to understand is that things take time. Okay, it takes time, and if this is going to go to the moon, we're not going this week, guys. This week is not the rocket launch you're looking for. Okay, they're probably going to be a better entry. It may not be, it may not be completely obvious as it's playing out, but there will be a better entry coming. If you wanted to go long, in my world, this is not where I take a long. This is not where I enter a long-term, long hold position for a large move. I would never. On this impulse, I personally would need to see some kind of a pullback on the daily where the RSI gets reset somehow, right? And then let's rock. Let's go after that. Once I see a 3-wave shape, the right size and the right amount of time and the right pullback, then I'm like, okay, yeah. Now let's take a long, okay? But I wouldn't be thinking, if I were you, if this isn't financial advice, this is trading advice. It is not wise, it is not good to enter a long position after a series of green candles. Let me ask you a question and let's see how you guys respond to this. How many times have you been trading the small time frame and all of a sudden you get this big red candle, not red candle, you get a big green candle, or you get several green candles. You're like, oh crap! You get the FOMOs because you think the market's going to keep going, and so you jump in. You just jump in. You take a long, just following the green candles, and then it's like after taking the long. It's not long, and all of a sudden the market's going against you, and the market just starts going against you and against you. It doesn't ever go up. It takes forever, and then maybe you stop the trade out. Maybe you get out of it. Maybe, I don't know what happens. Then eventually it goes on. But whenever you take that long after the green, you get this pullback that you're like, oh crap, I'm in a bad position. That happens, guys. That happens all the time. If you trade as a reactionary trader, if you don't have a setup, if you don't use discipline, and you let fear, hope, and greed manipulate you in your trading, then yeah, you will chase bullish moves. And let me just encourage you guys: do not chase this bullish move, because there's something too pretty on the chart. And right now, I actually just took a short. Actually, I'm short. My position is in Ethereum at 29.21. So I'm short just from this range here, and looking for a fairly decent move to the downside. We'll see if it plays. So yeah, I personally am. No, I'm sorry, not 29.21. Where? Sorry, that's sorry, 30. It's like right. Actually, price is like sitting right around my entry right now. So it may not be a great entry. We'll see. But it's 32.80. What is it? There it is. 32.84. 32.84. So, all right. I got a bullet short. Small position, but we are short. All right. Anyway, with that said, so don't chase this bullish thing. Okay? Don't chase that. Don't chase that. It's too pretty. It's too pretty. It's too three-wave-ish, and then all of a sudden you got this straight move straight up. Okay. When I see that, I'm like, okay. So what else could it be? So bull boys, there you go. You get the first. You get the first count. Expect a pullback of some kind. I would imagine some kind of a something, and then let's get a nice extended wave. 100K is pretty possible. Okay, pretty possible. Could be likely. What would be the ultimate? What would be the long-term wave count here? I mean, that's what you'd be looking at. Maybe some kind of a leading diag with if you demanded some kind of a count on the macro. I actually I go back and forth on that. I don't believe in macro counts really, but if you wanted to try to apply Elliott wave to that macro count, then there you go. I personally don't believe in macro counts. I don't think there are such a thing. But there are, Elliott wave theory does play, but I think it plays on the smaller time frame. Okay. With that said, so there's your bull count, guys. There it is. All right. So back to my first premise. Okay, the world is in crazy limbo here, especially in America, in the United States here, and we do have the world reserve currency, and the major markets of the world, S&P and Nasdaq and whatnot, are heavily traded all across the world, here in the United States. So the world's financial system is tied directly, correlated in some way to the DXY, to the dollar, and to the U.S. livelihood. And so I think it behooves you guys to pay attention to American politics, because what's going on is unprecedented and crazy. We have a president that is MIA. We're getting a nice little dump here on Ethereum. Boom. Nice little move there. Very good. Oh, let's go. Already up 33%. Let's rock. Okay. With that said, so I think it behooves you to at least pay attention to what's going on in the U.S. So we got a missing in action president. We have another guy that evidently our media and the powers that be do not want to be winning an election, and we have evidently another puppet getting ready to be established in power, or trying, at least they're setting her up to be the next puppet. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't, but we're living in weird, crazy times. And where's Bitcoin in all this? Okay, where is Bitcoin? Well, first off, you have to realize and remember that Bitcoin is still a speculative market. If you're betting on Bitcoin, you are speculating in the future. That you are betting that the future of the world is crypto as you know it. That most guys that are investing all their money in Bitcoin are basically thinking to themselves, "Hey, Bitcoin is the future of and crypto is." Now, I do believe that crypto and digital assets are going to be the future. I absolutely believe that. But crypto as you know it, no, I don't think so. I don't think crypto as you know it is going to be the asset of the future. I think we're in the developmental stages of cryptocurrency and and Bitcoin and this first generation of cryptos, as we call it, is just stage one. And will it have long-lasting power? Will it have long-lasting value? That's a speculation, and you could make the case. I know there are a lot of you out there that could absolutely make the case that yes, it's going to have long-lasting value. I can also make the case and say, nah, it's not going to have long-lasting value. There's going to be other assets that arise, that second-generation assets that arise that are going to just basically cause this first generation of crypto to die off and become obsolete, and that's going to happen. That's my take on it. And so cryptos as you know it, while the technology is sound, and while but cryptos as an asset, as a tradable and valuable asset, it's probably as you know it, the system of all these crap coins that we have that are being traded, it's probably going to change dramatically over time, I would imagine. So let me just warn you to be careful just being an absolutist when it comes to crypto. You need to understand as your investment that it is a speculative market, that you are speculating on the future, and your bet may be wrong. Okay, you might be right, but you also may be wrong, and you have to be ready to be wrong. Okay, so now with that said, that's why I personally am a trader and not an investor in crypto. I don't invest in crypto long term, but I do like the volatility of the market, and I trade it. So that's the beauty and the glory of being a trader. I don't have a horse in this race, and that's why you should be subscribed to my channel, because I'm an unbiased observer. Okay, I don't care if Bitcoin goes to the moon, and I don't care if it dies. I don't have any investment other than in my trading account, which is in USDT, right? That's it, and I'm scared to be in USDT really long term. I think I don't know if there's a stable coin that's gonna, So that said, I'm not even sure about that investment, right? So I don't have too much in the trading accounts that unless I'm willing to lose it, right? So anyway, with that said, what I see on the chart is a shape that is too pretty, and it's too obvious, and it's like Bitcoin is like it's like the market is tempting you and begging you to go long right now. And that's when I'm like, you know what, I think we ought to be short in this market, probably. But I'm not ready to short it either. I did take a short here at Ethereum because I saw a short-term play that I'm actually, I have a stop and profit at the moment. So if the market comes back on me, then, so be it, right? But that said, I see some other wave structures that this could be. And I want you to at least consider it and think about it, okay? One of the things I'm seeing as a potentiality here is the potential for this structure right in here to be a much bigger downside movement, probably either a WXY or an ABC and a flat. Let me tell you what I'm saying. Let me There we go. All right, we have retraced 90%. So here's what I see. I see a potential A, B, C right there. Okay, that's a potential three-wave move. Then as I continue to look at this, I think this is an obvious three-wave move there. I didn't do a very good drawing it. There it is right there. Boom. Okay. Now, oops, sorry. Control Z, there we go. I'm trying to do stuff here. Okay, so there's a three-wave move there. So what's this here? What is this? Well, personally, I was looking for this to be 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think that's the count. I think actually, because I was looking at this to be 1, 2. I thought this was 3, looking for 4, and then 5. That's what I was looking for in this wave. Didn't get it. We got this instead, this impulse instead. You say, okay, what is that? Well, I'm looking at this thinking, guys, well, this is probably an A, B, C. And if you're wondering about it, you can kind of see that A, B, C in the RSI. A, B, C, right there, okay? So that's potential. That's a potential way to interpret that. If that's the case, then what I see here is I've got 3 waves to the upside, 3 waves to the downside. Now we're getting an impulse wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be a flat B wave or X wave. In which case you got a W, then you got a running flat here as the B wave or X wave, and then we're looking for a Y. So whenever this finishes, it could be done now. We're going to ask the question in a moment, is this finished? I don't know if it is or not. We're going to look at it. It needs to be 5 waves if it's finished. We're going to look for the evidence of it being 5 waves. This last wave needs to be 5 waves. So if that's 5 waves, then we'll look at it and see. But if that's done, there's a running flat. Our next move is down here, and it's either going to be 3 waves or 5 waves, and I'm not sure which to expect. It could be 3 waves. And all of a sudden, that gets us way down here again. Okay, back down to support, which, by the way, is my contention that this is the real support. This is the first area of real support. We don't have any real price support up here where price reversed here. There was no price support. How many times have you seen a market coming down really hard, and then all of a sudden you get this spike back up to the top, but it doesn't take the top out, but it looks like it's a reversal. And they're like, oh, and then you go long here, and then all of a sudden it turns over and comes down again. I can't tell you how many times that's happened in my trading experience where I'm like, man, look at this impulse, and it gets you thinking, this 3-wave was finished. Here we go. We're going up. It gets you thinking that way. It gets you minded that way. It gets you thinking you were wrong, and then all of a sudden the market just falls off the cliff again, and it was just a fake out. It was just a pullback before a major move to the downside. That's my contention, that this move right here feels an awful lot like that. Okay? Guys, my dog is asking me to go out. I need to let somebody know in my family. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back in 5 seconds. Let me know if you relate to that in the comments. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Nobody talking, just us. Okay. All right. So anyway, yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here, as far as a potential count here, that this could be a running flat as a B wave or an X wave. Okay. This is either W, X, and then looking for Y. That would be 3 waves, Y. Or it's a flat, okay? This B wave did make it back to 90%, even though the C wave The C wave, the C wave has not made it back 90%, but the wave in general did. So you could call this an A, and then a B wave right here. I'd like to, B here, and then C. Now, if that's the case, we'd be looking for an impulse to the downside. In other words, we'd be looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't believe in cycle theory, Chemo. I'm just playing, brother. I'm just kidding, man. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so anyway, this is at least a bearish count that you need to consider and understand it's a possibility. Okay, so watch out for that. Another way to look at this, instead of looking at this first wave as 3 waves, let me take a peek at what's happening right here. Just want to see what this wave is doing here. Okay, I'll look at it in a minute. It stops me out. It's about to. I can always re-enter. Okay. Where was I? Okay. Another way to interpret this is that this was an initial 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. That's a leading diag. Okay. Now, if that's the case, then this wave right here, that's a 1 wave reversal. Okay. This is 3, 3, and 5. And this is a wave 2. Now, this may not be finished. We have to do some work on this particular wave. We got to do some work on that. Okay. So we'll look at it shortly and see if it's done. All right. But it could be 2. All right. Now, it won't be a 2 if this wave comes up and takes this high out. It won't be a 2. It would be something else. Okay, and then we'd be looking. So we're looking for 3, which would be very big down. Okay, huge. If that's a 1, 2 to the downside, we're looking for a big wave down. 3, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we're going to take that low out, almost certainly. All right. You say, some of you are thinking, oh, Bitcoin will never do that. I can't do that. We're too bullish. The ETF, blah, blah, blah. The ETF this, ETF that. Guys, let me just tell you something. The big boys, if they want to, they can take price down here and accumulate the crap out of it and still go up and still take it up. And I would not put it past them to do that at this moment in time. I would not be surprised at such a move. Now, whether it happens or not, I don't know. But my market maker senses are saying, yeah, that's a real possible scenario. But we have to see. Again, I'm as neutral. I'm trading long when I feel like it's a long, and I'm trading short when I feel like it's short. But right now, I'm just talking macro possibilities here. Macro possibilities. We're going to get in the micro analysis shortly. Okay. Now, if this is a WXY, we're looking at a more shallow retrace. We're looking at this W. Here's your X. Looking for Y. Probably going to find support right here. Probably going to find support there. Sorry. Come down, take that low out, find support on that line. Boom, we can go up again. Could be an ending. I don't know if it'd be an ending diag, but 1, 2, 3, deep 4, 5. This was a deep 4. It was deep. And you got a 5. So that could be a bullish count. And you still get this move to the downside. One thing we know, guys. One thing we know. When levels are hit, there's a lot of play time that happens around those levels. Look, they made a level. Boom. They came up to it. They took it out, pulled back, took it out again, dumped it. Okay, that's what they do. Okay, look here. Level was created, pulled back hard, came up, took that level out, pulled back hard, came up, took that level out, pulled back, never came back. Except it came back one more time to tag it, and then boom, down we went. That's all liquidity grabbing. That's all about liquidity grabs. So here they are again. We're back again. Back at the level. We tagged it. We pulled back. Here we go. That's what you want to say. Here we go. Or this is going to go tag it, pull back again. Right? Another count you might say, you might have is, yeah, Jim, you're right. This could be 5 waves here. But we're just going to hit the high for wave 5. Boom. And then we're going to have this 3-wave pullback. That's going to come all the way back down. It's not going to come as low as you're talking about, but it's going to be a 3-wave pullback. It's going to come back, you know, between now and next year, and then we're going to go to the moon later on, 2026, 2028, whatever. But we're going to experience this bear market here, right here, just slightly for a while. So there's another bearish count for you. That's another way to interpret the waves. That's an alternative way to interpret these waves instead of just saying, here we go to the moon, we're going to 100K, and we're never going to stop. That's just want to show you guys that there are wave structures on our chart, and there are possibilities here that you have to consider. So it's best to I mean, if you have a long position from down here, okay, fantastic, you're in great position. But what are you going to do if it starts coming back here? Where's your profit taking? Where's your profit taking area? Where are you going to say, you know what, I've experienced too much loss? When are you going to be satisfied with the gains that Bitcoin gives you? If you have the mindset, oh, when it gets 100K. But what if it gets to 100K? You're going to be thinking, oh, it's going to go to 200K. I don't want to stop now, right? Or 150 or 120. And greed will just take over. So let me just encourage you, just greed will take all your profit. You'll never make any money in this market with greed. You're going to have to take your profit and learn how to swing trade. Learn how to trade on the smaller time frames. You can do swing trades. There are ways and techniques to swing trade. But that's my recommendation. Stop trading. Stop trading, expecting Bitcoin, to hold it forever and ever and ever. All right. Anyway, with that said, I'm just warning you guys. Just offering a sober reality here. All right. With that said, so we got a bullish count. Already went over the bullish count. Okay, we're going to the moon. Extended 5th wave. Look for a pullback in here, and then a big move to the upside. Okay, so that would be bullish wave idea. And then I offered a couple of bearish counts. The bearish count, just FYI here, guys, we have a pretty strong volume spike right here. And usually when you get a volume spike like that, that lets you know that there's a potential move to the downside coming. So I'm looking for something like that more than likely. Yeah, that's not a bad play, Mr. Fairhill. Not a bad. That would be fine. They can do whatever they want to do. In fact, they could do that for sure. So yeah, that would be a nasty move. So basically, you have this flat in the middle. Oh, sorry. Let's draw it again. Boom, boom, boom. There's your connecting wave. There's A. There's B. You get C. Down to this, and then boom, come take the high, and then dump it. 3-wave move. So yeah, but we got all kinds of time We got all kinds of time to look at that analysis and say, okay, what's Bitcoin doing? We got plenty of time. This week, I'm just here to tell you, we're not pumped. I don't think we're pumping this week. I don't think this is pump time. I don't think this is go time. I think there's a pullback that's going to take a month to play out, or 2 months, to be honest with you, because we got an election coming up in November. That's not that far away. It ain't nothing for them to go sideways for 3 months. That would be nothing for them to do that. Okay? So price could play around up here for 3 months. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but more than likely, we're not breaking the top anytime soon. We could, but I think it's all about liquidity grabs. Let's look at this wave and let me show you the wave structure I'm seeing, so you can, and I'll show you the validation point. I am short, and I believe a short is coming. My stop in Bitcoin would be probably, for this idea at least, for an elite wave stop, a break of this high right here, this high right there. And the reason that would be the stop is because my wave count that would support a short here would be, this would be a wave 1, boom, 1. This would be a wave 2, boom, okay? Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5-wave move with a 3-wave pullback right there, okay? Now, that's the way I would interpret those waves at the moment. At least that's the bearish way of interpreting those waves. All right. So let me show you why I'm looking at that. Like, first off, we got a volume spike. Okay, we got a pretty strong volume spike. That's out of the ordinary. Okay, for Bitcoin. Okay, for the last. When I say out of the ordinary for Bitcoin, I mean for this move. For this move to the upside. See that strong volume spike right there, sitting right there. Okay, if you look at the other volume spikes, all right, what you'll notice is they come at times of pivot. Okay, come at times of pivot. So for instance, see this volume spike right here, right there, boom. It came at a pivot point where we went up. Okay, see this volume spike right there. It came at the end of a move. So there was a pivot for a 3-wave. Now it was only 3 waves, but it came at a pivot point. Okay, and that's what I want to show you. Okay, now not all of them, they're not always perfect, but here's another volume. Oh, come on. There's another volume spike here, pretty big one here, and notice it came on this candle. Look at what it was. It was a pivot point for a larger downward downward move. Okay, so when you see those volume spikes, they're usually come at pivot points. It just depends on what pivot are we on? Are we on upward pivot or a downward pivot? And it's not always clear, and it's not 100% thing to pay attention to, but it's certainly worth noting the volume spikes. Okay, so I pay attention to the volume spikes in conjunction with elite wave counts. Okay, so when I see a volume spike like this, that surpasses all the volume spikes of recent history here, of days and days and days. I'm saying, okay, that's, and we've come at the top of a wave here. Okay, I got a 5-wave count here. See 5 waves, boom. I'm at the top of a wave. That's a pivot point for me. This is more than likely getting ready to pivot to the downside. So I'm biased right now based on that volume spike and based on this 5-wave count that this is a pivot point. That we may be going down. So I'm looking for downward counts right now. How can I interpret this wave to the downside? Now, it doesn't mean I'm right. It just means that that's the way the market often happens. You get those volume spikes at pivot points, okay? That's just something I've noticed, and it helps me when I add that to my trading, okay? It's just a little thing I do and done, but it's not like the holy grail of trading, and but it's certainly helpful to look at that and say, okay, is this one of those areas? And I attribute that volume to a large whale or something like that who's come in and made a big purchase at a turning point. They're turning the market and they're nailing the top or bottom. And they're that's it. I maybe it's a sign of manipulation. I don't know, but large position being taken there, okay, by somebody in the know, evidently, okay. So just pay attention to those volume spikes. So that's one piece. That's one reason why I'm like, okay, I'm looking at a bearish bias here. I want to interpret this from a bearish standpoint. Okay. So as I look at this particular wave, I'm like, okay, how would I interpret this bearishly? Well, I would look at this initial wave, even though it's ugly as sin. I'm just going to call that a wave 1, okay, or a wave A at bare minimum. It could be a wave A, okay. Now, I have a 3-wave move back to the upside. Let's look at that carefully just for a moment on the smaller time frame. Guys, I tell you what, I feel like tonight, number one, I have a lot of energy right now, but I don't know how much energy I'm going to have in about 20 minutes. I'm expending it pretty quickly. But, yeah, I feel good about the content I'm giving as well. So, why would they dump it right before the election? They can do whatever they want. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the world. I think there's only a very small group of people that are looking at crypto as any kind of, something. So I don't see a direct correlation with crypto and the S&P or whatever. So yeah, I don't know why they would necessarily. Why wouldn't they? Looking at this wave, I see 3 waves, basically. I see a W, I see an X, and I see a Y. Or you can interpret that as a flat, as 3 up, 3 down, 5 up, if you want to count this as 5. Either way, I see a WXY or an ABC. Either way, I see 3 waves, okay? So there's 3 waves. Moving on. Let's see, where was I? Get on a different time frame. There we go. Okay. So I'm looking at this as an AB or a 1-2. And I'm more of a 1-2 guy. I think it's a 1-2. So I see 1, 2. Now, what's this wave? You say, well, Jim, that looks very 3-wave-ish. It looks very 3-wave-ish. It does, but if you look at the smaller time frame, you just kind of get in on that guy. Look at it. Let's count it. Let's do a little counting here. We got a 1 and a 2 right there. You got a 3, a 4, and a 5. Okay? You got a really, really nice 5. That's a potential 5-wave move. All right? That's not bad at all. And then what you've got here is a W wave. You got 3 waves. 3 waves to the upside. Boom. 3 waves to the downside. Boom. And now look. You got a W. 3, 3, 3. You got a WXY right there. And that's just basically a double correction, 3, 3, 3, double correction. Okay, did not take the high out. I think it's highly plausible, highly probable that this is a 1, 2, 1, 2. And if this starts dumping, okay, if this starts dumping, which I anticipate that's the position I'm taking personally. That's what I believe. If that starts dumping, okay. Boom, we're going to see a very big move to the downside. Very, very big. Especially if that's a 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, I don't know if it is or not. Now, this count is really easy to invalidate, and you can have a really easy stop on if you're trading a count. I don't necessarily trade Elliott wave counts anymore like I used to, but I do use Elliott wave counts to kind of give me a bias for direction, right? So I use Elliott wave theory to say, okay, which direction am I thinking? Okay, and plus some other things. But I don't necessarily use Elliott wave as the invalidation or validation of my trade, because you can have a count and then they'll go stop out the Elliott count and then go. So I've learned that this market doesn't abide by Elliott rules necessarily, but the count's still valid a lot of times, even though they'll try to invalidate it by a quick hit to the high and then boom. I call it the Elliott +1 rule. That you'll get a nice Elliott wave count, and then all of a sudden, boom, you'll get a hit to the high, and then it'll go the direction you thought it was going to go, but not before it stops you out. So it's an Elliott +1. So I often ignore those +1s, or don't pay a whole lot of attention. In other words, I don't use a hit to the high necessarily as a stop. I have other stops that I would much that I use instead. So. Anyway, looking at this, if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, It's huge. It's going to be a big move to the downside. Okay, so we're going to pull the fibs on this sucker. Here, let's pull the fibs on the second one too. Okay, the 2618. Dang. This is the second one too. So we're going to say 1, 2, looking for 3. That's not even far enough. I would expect the 3618, 4618. I'm expecting something like that. That's much more in proportionality. Boom, boom. That's just the third wave. So we'd be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. There you go, guys. And that would be an A, B, C. If this goes down like I think it might go down, it's a 30% drop in price. Minimum. Minimum. But I think it's going to go and find real support. I think it's going to get big and wicky. Find real support. Guys, this is real support. This right here is in the middle of no man's land. I personally don't believe that this right there is support. I don't think that that's price support. If you look a little further left, there's really, in my opinion, it's my opinion, that's what I'm here to give you, I don't see real price support here. Real price support, if you study support and resistance properly, is not the peak of a mountain. Okay? I'm going to call these mountains. That's a mountain and a mountain. And this is a valley. Okay? The support is where it came down to, found support and pushed up. Okay? Came down to here and pushed up. Down to here and pushed up. Okay? So we have historical support. I'll show you the range. Okay? Historical support in this range right here. Okay? We have history saying boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Now 8 times. This area right here. Oh, sorry. This area right here provided support for the Bitcoin price. So that, for me, is real support, real price support. Where we bounced, for me, it's not strong. It's fake support. I'm advocating. I believe there's probably another low coming. All right? I'm ready to be wrong. Don't trade based on what I feel, what I think. Even if it seems, even if what I said seems absolutely plausible to you, so maybe I convince you. I'm not here to tell you how to trade. Okay, I'm just telling you what I expect price to do, based on Elliott wave theory, based on volume, based on price support resistance and things that I'm seeing. Okay, but I'm also ready. So these are my biases. But I'm also ready to be wrong, because price right now is in the middle of an impulse wave. But the question is it finishing? Is that impulse wave finished or not? Okay. Now, I don't know the answer to that question, but I'm offering a plausible notion that it could be finished. There's a real possibility this wave is done and we're about to have an impulse to the downside. Okay, so just be careful. Don't trade based on this, guys. Trading Elliott wave theory, kicking around ideas where price could go, and kicking around ideas about wave thoughts. That's not trading. This is just me analyzing the chart, guys. I'm just doing a deep dive into the chart. I'm looking at different scenarios and different ideas, and trying to put some pieces of the puzzle together based on as many things as I can see, right? geopolitical, as well as volume, as well as Elliott wave theory, well, support resistance, trend lines, just doing my RSI, right? Just trying to put all that together, doing some technical analysis. Say, okay, what are some plausible ideas, and then market maker, understanding a market maker and the way they do price and the way they grab liquidity from traders. I just try to put all that together, but that's not necessarily trading. That's just analysis, right? You have to have a setup and something in a way that you trade that has rules and regulations. So please don't make trades based on what I'm saying to you. I'm not here to tell you what to trade. That's a very different thing. Okay, if you want to learn to trade, come in. I got a great Discord and a great educational channel in trading. I'll tell you exactly how I take trades and why I take trades when I do. But I'm not here tonight on YouTube to tell you to take a trade or not, to hold Bitcoin long term or to sell all your Bitcoin now. I'm not here to do that. I am going to be telling you my opinion about where price is probably going, and I am biased to the downside. Now, I've got several downside counts, okay? I've got several places price could go and wave structures to back it up, okay? And I've shared those with you, but I don't know where price. I'm not here to tell you with certainty where price is going. I'm here to tell you where price could go and how it could go to where we think it might go, okay? And what the wave might look like if it does go there. What would you expect to see, right? So if you're a bull, what I would expect to see is a bit of a pullback right in here. Could take a month to play out. That pullback could take the month of August into September even. It could take 2 months. They could drag this out for 3 months to make a three-wave move back down, retest this low, and then shoot the moon, okay? And if you get a three-wave move that big, yes, I would expect to see, if price comes up and breaks it, I would expect to see a big moonshot or a larger correction that they take the high and then they come and take it down, and it's a larger flat, okay? It's a much bigger correction than we're looking at. So there's all kinds of tricky things that can happen with price here. But for now, as if you're a bull, I would expect some kind of a pullback that could take the next several weeks to a month or two, just depending on how big they want to make that pullback. They could make it shallow and go up fast, right? That's a possibility. Or they could drag it out through the election. And then once the election is over, they could pump the crap out of it, okay? So they might keep price in this range for the next 3 months. They could totally do that. And then after the election, boom. They could time it to the day or to the next day. Maybe Trump gets elected. Maybe he makes crypto promises. Maybe the crypto world's excited for Trump, and he actually wins the election. And then all of a sudden, the market just starts taking off, and everybody, it's justified. Everybody like, yes, we expected this. And this is, and maybe so. Maybe that's exactly what happens. or it goes up so fast. Now that it becomes a justifiable reason. The powers that be can say, "Hey, see, it was Trump," but their plan was to take crypto there all along, which may be the case, right? May be the case. One of the things I know, and one of the things I realize, is that price often goes where you expect it to go. Okay, so the price of Bitcoin, if you're expecting 100K, if a lot of you out there expecting 100K, guys, I'm here to tell you, more than likely, high likelihood, price of Bitcoin is going to 100K without a doubt. It's going there. But I'm here to also tell you without a doubt that more than likely, well, there's a little doubt, because more than likely isn't 100%. More than likely, price is going to go to 100K in a way that takes you off guard. It's going to take you by surprise. And in other words, it's going to go where you expect it to go, just not how you expect it. The wave shape will be tricky, and it will be odd to you, and you'll be like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Well, I saw that price coming, but I didn't see it coming like that. Whoa, that was unexpected. Okay, so that's why I often look at the chart and I'm like, okay, what is the low-hanging fruit? What, just looking at this chart, where would I expect it to go? What is the obvious move? What looks obvious and pretty? Like, this is where this chart is going. And I'm telling you, what looks pretty is this looks like it's going up here. Okay? Then because I know that the chart often goes where you expect it to go, but not how you expect it, I'm thinking, okay, how could it go here, up here, but in a way that would screw people up first? And so I started looking for accounts that were a little different, and then that's when this flat jumped out at me. It's like, oh, that could be a flat. Now I don't know if that is or not, but I think it's something to really consider. And then all of a sudden, the price comes down here in a really fast wave, like I shared with you. Then all of a sudden, and then it goes up. You can still have a 1, 2, 3, 4, deep 4, 5, and this move right here could take us into November, pump after the election. Okay, and that would still you know, I don't know, that might still, it might take 40 weeks or however long you said, Chemo, to go on up there, you know, for the next year, right? Or more. It could go up a lot slower. In other words, the steepness of the wave, it may do something like this instead. We get a pump, a pullback, pump, and then all of a sudden we get something like this, right? And we get a huge wave, but it's going to take a long time. But we get this dump down here first. That's what I'm saying to you guys. That's what I think is happening here. I don't think that this wave is going to go straight up from here. I say it's more likely coming down here. Going to find real support in this range, okay? In this range right there. In this range right here, okay? Going to find real support on this trend line, maybe. And then it's not guaranteed just to go straight up. I think it'll probably play around here with a fourth wave, fake breakdown, come back up, come back down, play in this range for the next while. And all that I just drew, I'm on the 12-hour chart right now, all that I just drew takes us into February. And then all of a sudden you start getting a pump next year. Okay? And then we zoom out and you look at the chart. Okay, let me get rid of this so it didn't look weird. Okay. Then all of a sudden you got some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's ugly, but it's possible. I'm not here to say what is or isn't going to happen. I'm just sharing possibilities. Okay? And I'm just saying that this is possible. That to think we're going straight up, I think that's error. And I'm here to warn you, don't fall for that trap. Don't fall for that trap. All right, let's do some analysis here on this short-term wave. How are you guys doing in the chat? Am I ignoring you guys? No, man, you guys are just listening. Hey, if you're liking the live stream tonight, hey, hit the likes for me, would you? There's 26,743 of you watching. It'd be cool if there would be an even match between likes and but if you like the information you're getting, yeah, Mr. Fairhill, I'll look at dominance when I get a chance. Let's do a little small time frame analysis here on this wave, and I'll show you. I already showed you why I went short, and right now my short is doing well. Have to see if it's going to continue to do well or not. Let's do some work here on the 15-minute chart. No, not the 15-minute. Okay, yeah, there we go. Sorry. Right there. Okay, let's look at this wave right here. Okay, and let's count it, and then let's look at this last wave on the very small time frame. So what I'm saying is that this could be a 1, 2, okay, 3, 4, and 5. Now this 5 could be done, it might not. It might be done, it might not be done. We'll look at that in just a moment. I'm offering the idea that it could be done. And this 5-wave move right there would be, in this idea, would be the C wave of this flat right there. And it's a running flat. A running flat is where the B wave takes out the origin of the A wave, okay? And then the C wave does not take out the top of the B wave. It comes short. So this would be an example of a running flat. 335 is the count, and then down we go. All right. So let's do some work on this wave. Is this 5 waves? Is that a plausible count? Well, yeah, it is. It is a plausible count. Let's take a peek at it. All right. So you've got 1, 2. All right. That's 1, 2. Now let's count the third wave. You got a leading diag here potentially. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. 3-wave pullback. Boom. 2, 3, 4, 5. There's wave 3 right there. There's 5 waves in wave 3. You got a 3-wave move for wave 4. Came back to the 4th of the previous degree. It also provided a hidden bullish divergence. Boom, boom, which is what I expect from a wave 4. And then we got a spike to the high, took out the high like we often get on a wave 5. So there's a very plausible 5-wave count. Let's take a peek here then at this 5th wave here. And let's take a peek on the 5-minute and see if we see 5 waves in this wave. So is this wave finished? I think that's a very plausible count that I just offered you. Now we got to say, okay, is this 5 waves done? All right. I think there's an argument for yes, and I think there's an argument for no. Okay. So let's see. We got 1, 2. Where's wave 3? Ending diag, but I don't see a great. Okay, here's wave. Yeah. 4. See, I don't see a clear wave 4 here unless we're in the middle of a wave 4. In which case, it's going to come, take the low, come back down here, and then go up. I just wouldn't like that wave shape if it does that. That wave shape doesn't make sense to me. This could be a wave 4 here, and 5 may not be done. We could be getting an ending diag here. In which case, yeah, that would make sense for all the 3 waves I'm seeing. 3, 3. This comes up here. Boom, boom, boom. Something like that. And that would be fine. And that would be fine for that to play. And that would play out just fine. So that's not a bad count there. But I could say, hey, this could be done regardless of whether I see a finished count or not. We got some kind of 4 in here, 5, boom. That could be 5 waves. And then I've given you a plausible count for this. A 1, 2, 1, 2 to the downside. So that's going to be easily invalidated. Easily invalidated the moment this high gets broken right there. The moment that high gets broken, I can say, well, Jim, that's not a 1, 2, 1, 2 anymore. That's not a good count. This 3-wave move, boom, right there. That's 3 waves. That's not an impulse wave. Okay. This is not a 1, 2, 1, 2. So sorry, I'm not doing very well. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go down. That gets invalidated. That 1, 2, 1, 2 gets invalidated at the break of this high. Now, even if that goes up here and breaks the high, which it could, there's another down count. You could have a 1, and then this could be 3 waves 2. But that count gets invalidated the moment this high gets broken. So when this high gets broken, all right, then a 1, 2 gets invalid. And we're not looking for a 3. So when this high gets broken, we're looking at this as a finishing 5th wave instead. We're looking for maybe this to be an ending diag. 1, 2, 3, breaks the high, comes back down 4, 5. So you see how they break the high, pull back hard, break the high again, and then dump. Okay? And that's how they end waves a lot of times. They make it hard to find the end of the wave because they hit the high, pull back, hit the high. And that's what diags kind of do at the end. So that's a potential count there. All right. So that's the way I'm looking at this wave. Either it's done now and we're getting ready to dump tonight, and I'm in a great position. Okay. All right. Or we're going to pull back, continue up. Pull back, continue up for a 5th wave maybe. Okay. Or there's some other count that I'm not seeing at the moment that I'll see. But nevertheless, I'll have an invalidation. I've got invalidations of my count. Invalidations of my count at the breaks of these highs, and I can get out of my trade and take my loss and lick my wounds and live the trade another day. Okay. But this is a trade idea based upon market maker manipulation, based on a lot of the signs that I've already shared in this live stream over the last hour. Guys, and this is priceless information I think I've given, and I feel very good about my analysis. Very good about it. All right. Let me know what you think. FOMC meeting on Wednesday. Thank you. Thank you, Cool Networks. I haven't looked at the FOMC. What do you call it? I haven't looked at the FOMC docket for a while. So, yeah, that's good to remember. That definitely going to be some volatility around that. All right, let's take a peek at the dominance chart because of Miss Fairhill. And Camel Tea Bag, my faithful I'm sorry, I was reading comments. Camel Tea Bag says that pump to the election, then dump before the result, as the markets don't like uncertainty. And result would determine 2025 continuation of a bull run or continuation of a new bear market. Okay. Trailer Park Traders agrees. All right, cool. Cool Networks supports around 40 to 45. All right. I agree. I think there's support there, but I think that there's a liquidity hunt to be grabbed at 37, 36. Okay, let's take a peek at the Bitcoin dominance chart. I have you somewhere on my screen. Where are you? You're here somewhere. Oh well, I thought I had it on there. Maybe I don't. Okay. Bitcoin dominance. It's been rising in its dominance. So let's look at the weekly. So, all right. So looking at history, when BTC back in 2018, when BTC started dumping, its dominance went up. In other words, when BTC dumps and dumps hard, okay, it tends to take control of the market. Hard control. All right. Then, let's see what happened in August. Let me get on the weekly here. I'm correlating, I'm just looking at what price does when dominance goes up and down here. Okay, so in August 2019, price was going sideways. It was in corrective mode, but it was going sideways. Okay, it was in strong sideways corrective mode. Okay, so let's look at the dominance chart in August of 2019. Right here, yeah, we started correcting sideways. Okay. Then all of a sudden, COVID happened. But why did dominance go down at COVID? So the COVID dump, dominance fell dramatically during the COVID dump. I don't know why that is. Wait a minute. I could be wrong. Hold on. I might be wrong here. Hold on. That's okay. Sorry, I was looking at it wrong. Oh, this was the COVID dump right here. Right here. COVID dump. So what's this? That is January 2021. So on this pump right here, this dump happened. So it's interesting. So when Bitcoin is pumping, its dominance goes down. But when it's dumping, in general, dominance trends to the upside. Pumping, it went down. So now price has been kind of, its dominance has been kind of going, and it's making a corrective structure. Okay, it's now that doesn't mean the dominance chart, Elliott wave applies to it. Okay, I don't think it does, but nevertheless, Bitcoin's dominance is slowly rising. Well, when did this rise? During a correction. So let's look. When did this start rising? Let's see. August 2022, September, November, December, January 2023. Let's look at that. January. So that's right in here. So this has been steady going up. So evidently, the way to read the dominance chart is right now Bitcoin is dominant. Its dominance is controlling the market. Just because this dominance is going up doesn't mean it's going to go up forever, but it looks like it's spiking. But what that means is that the rest of the market is not doing its own thing. It seems contingent upon what Bitcoin does. So the market is resting on the dominating power of Bitcoin. So whatever Bitcoin does, up or down, the market is also doing. So right now Bitcoin has the power. But as you see Bitcoin's dominance going down, that means other charts are wavering and going how I say, they're not correlating so much. They're diverting from the pattern of Bitcoin. But as Bitcoin's dominance go up, so that's letting you know that all the charts are looking very, very similar to Bitcoin and what Bitcoin is doing. So are there any clues here? Right now, the trend of Bitcoin's dominance is up. Okay? But that doesn't mean the price of Bitcoin can't go down. Because here the dominance was trending to the upside, right? But the general direction of price was down. Now, the general direction of Bitcoin right now, a price is in general going up, though we're stagnating right here. We've been correcting for the last while. Okay. However, you can see the momentum is changing in the RSI if you apply RSI to it. Okay. But Bitcoin's dominance could go up again. Or it could start coming down for a correction. Okay. Which means you could get a price pump. So I find it personally challenging and difficult to use the Bitcoin dominance chart to find clues for where price might be going. Because the dominance is simply measuring, the way I understand it, Bitcoin's correlation to the overall cryptocurrency market. That as the market in general is moving, it's moving in correlation with Bitcoin. However, when there's a divergence from the altcoins and Bitcoin, when the altcoins in general are doing their own thing and it's not being as tied to move for move with Bitcoin, then the Bitcoin's dominance will measure to the downside, be moving in the downward direction. So I don't know that the percentage the percentage number means anything other than the general direction. Bitcoin is taking dominance or growing in its dominance or lessening in its dominance. But I'm not sure how to read it necessarily. I don't know what the best way to use it in your trading is. What are your ideas, guys? What are your ideas and thoughts about dominance? Okay. I want to take a peek at might be getting stopped out here on Bitcoin. Let's see. My 1-2-1-2 count is about to get stopped out, guys, so that's good. That's an easy invalidation right there. It's about to get stopped out. So that's not a 1-2-1-2 to the downside. That just got invalidated. So that's good. I mean, good that we can narrow that down. We can no longer look at that as a valid way to look at it. My trade got stopped out as well. My ETH trade did. Well, that's fine. You know, yeah, it was in profit. It was doing all right, and then it got stopped out. So that's okay. Just looking at wave structure here and say, okay, what's this telling me here? This is a nice 1-2 to the upside. This could be, you know, going 3-4-5 to the upside. We might get ready for a pump, or you could get if this doesn't break the high, this could be a 1-2 to the and then this is going to come down like that. So that's the bearish look. Bullish look is 1-2. This is pullback. We're getting ready to go. Now, for the bullish count, however, this still could be a 1-2 to the downside. This could still be 3 waves here. Boom, boom, boom. Still be 3 waves. Just because we took this high out doesn't mean this could just be a stop hunt, and now here we go. Very, very nice volume spike here on BTC. Another one. It's not as high as this one right here. Not as strong as this one here, but there's a nice little volume spike there. But you know, it's minuscule on the smaller time frame. I like to see real big ones at key moments on the chart. So all right. Well, I just wanted to watch this little pump here, see what's going to happen here in price. See what ETH is doing here. BTC here. The next area I want to see taken out so I can invalidate some counts is this one right here. Now, if that gets taken out, what's a potential count for that wave? Yeah, that's hard. I'll be honest with you. That's I think a potential count would be that ending diag that I shared with you. So I'd be watching for that ending diag. So something like this. I don't have it on the right time frame. There we go. 1, 2, 3 is going to come up. 4, 5. Something like that. This wave's so odd, though. Could that be the ever elusive? Here's a possibility. This could be an ever elusive. Hardly ever see W, X, Y, X, Z. Triple correction. Not likely. Just trying to see what the likelihood of this thing pumping is. Yeah. It's 3 waves. Sunday's always trap day, so just be careful. Sunday into Monday is usually trap day. So they're probably going to take this high out, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking at wave structure here. I'm trying to see what... A, B, C. Then another hit to the high. Huh. I'm trying to see it, but I'm not seeing it, guys. Of course, they took this little level out here, and they might be testing this. Whenever they test highs, it's hard to tell, guys, what they're going to do. They often push to take push at levels to take to get people going long up here at the top, and then trap traders, and then come down here and take traders out. It's often the play, guys. Often the play. Angry sack magic. That's hilarious. No, I haven't seen him lately. All right. Let's take a peek at the S&P, guys. S&P took a little bit of a dive. Had two red weeks in a row. Got to see what's going to happen here in a third week in the row. So watch out for that. I would definitely watch out for a break of structure here in the S&P. You get a break of that right there. That's going to be kind of bearish. So watch out for that on the S&P. Nasdaq. Looking at the Nasdaq, same thing. You got a nice wave structure here to pay attention to. You got a trend line there to pay attention to, and you got this one right here. And the progression, as you break these levels, you get more and more bearish. Okay, so that's the way you're looking at that. Let's see, what is that looking like? This is Ethereum. It looks like a wave forward, doesn't it? Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, this has some work to do up here yet. It's not done. More than likely, guys, we're going to take this top out. Let's see where it might be going here. Guys, I tell you what, they are really going to push. They're going to work this range, more than likely. We got a trend line up here to pay attention to. They're going to work that. We're pushing up to it. I mean, they are pushing hard up to it. But you got to watch out for this here. This could be just a little wave forward. They're in the middle of, like I said, this wave 5 ending diag. So we could totally take this level out right here, no problem. And I foresee us doing that. Okay, taking that level out, boom, boom, pumping up to this trend line. But remember, this whole count being a flat is valid, and that this can come and take this price can also come up and take this level out and still be a flat. It just wouldn't be a running flat anymore. Okay, that wouldn't be a running flat. It would be a expanded flat at that point. Okay. Now, what can't happen from an Elliott perspective is this level cannot be broken right there and us maintain a 1-2 to the downside. You cannot hold on to that count. Okay? If this level gets broken. Because wave 2 cannot surpass the origin of wave 1. Now, it can be an A, B, in which case we'd be looking for a steep wave C, ABC. That can be the count, but you can't have a 1-2. So if the top gets taken out here, guys, that lets us invalidate other counts. We can stop looking for the 1-2 count here, and that's helpful when you're able to invalidate counts. It's always helpful when you say, hey, I'm here to invalidate. I can invalidate that idea. I no longer have to consider it. I no longer have to look at it anymore. I can invalidate it. I can say, oh, yeah, that's not happening. So that's always good. That's always good. So I'm still bearish, guys. I really am, for the reasons that I shared. Even though this is pumping right now, it's pumping on this particular wave. And listen, guys, we get pumps at the end of moves. Okay, now this thing could continue pumping, right? We're getting ready to take this top out. So my 1-2 to the downside, that idea got invalidated. Okay, and we could pump up here for a wave 3. I'm expecting that. I'm expecting some kind of boom, and then a pullback overnight, and then in the morning another pump, and maybe that's going to be some kind of a diag ender. Okay, so that's a count that I'm aware of and watching for and on guard for, and I might even trade it. You know, it's an idea I'll consider. That idea that I had about this being ABC, like boom, 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 I don't think that's going to play, personally. This kind of too extended at the moment. It's too become too extended. We took this high out, so my 1-2 idea is completely invalidated now for this local wave right here. So I'm no longer looking at this as a 1-2 to the downside. It has to be something else. There's another count. Now, could it still be corrective? Yeah, it could. Man, guys, it still could be an ABC, A, B, and they could still come down for C. Okay, and that would be a wave 4 of some kind, or a wave 2 even. So if you're bullish, that if it came and did that, I mean, that could preempt something real bullish. 1, 2, and on, right? Getting a nice little pump here. Trying to see any other counts that might be playing. There's a nice little impulse wave right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A volume spike. You may get a little pullback and then a continuation. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. Let's look at XRP while we're getting timed here. XRP. Is XRP getting ready to go to the moon? Guys, where can I get the best XRP chart? What XRP? I'll bet you it's Binance has the most history. I look at XRP, guys, and I see a real potential for a flat going on right here. Look at the 4-hour chart. Guys, I look at this and I'm like A, B, C. That looks a whole lot like a flat. Is the C wave finished, or is there going to be come up here? Either way, I see setup. Man, I'm so bearish. I see a setup for a short here. I'm not trying to be bearish. Just the wave structure is screaming at me. Watch out. Really not. I mean, I've always been kind of a, a bear boy, but not really. I mean, just I was screaming bull, back in 2023. December, January, February, looking for, to pump. So I was bullish when it's time to be bullish, but right now I'm skeptical about another bullish continuation move. I'm just my spidey senses are saying watch out. Watch out here. Philson, I mean, I haven't done any kind of macro look at ETH, just small time frame. Let's just take a peek at the ETH chart. Go to the weekly here. Guys, I just personally, I'm just having a hard time. I'm not, I'm looking at the 4-hour with you, and yeah, it looks real bullish. I think this is a fake out liquidity grab. We have this giant volume spike here. Just watch out for a move down. This could be the 5th wave, like I was sharing with you before a move down. But that may take all day tomorrow. Price action. We may pump slowly, go sideways for hours, pump slowly, pull back. It may take forever, a long time for this thing to play before it starts going down. It may be the next week in price action before it actually comes down. And maybe next Sunday night charts before we see it. Okay. Anyway, let's look at Ethereum weekly chart. Okay. What's going on here? What is this? What is this? It's hard to read. Could you have a 1-2-1-2 there? I don't think so. And the reason I don't think you have a 1-2-1-2 is because this is just way too big. This structure right here is so big comparatively. This wave just feels really corrective to me. So what if this is A, B? Oh, excuse me. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. So we pump, take the high. That's ABC. Boom. Come down. 3, 3, 5. I don't know. What if this is just done? And this is 1, 2, or AB. Probably AB. It's just big. 1, and we're in the middle of 2, 3, 4, 5. Or WXY. WX. Waiting on Y to finish. Alright, what if that's a leading diag? What if this is a leading diagonal with a throw over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Major throw over. And now we're getting ABC or WXY. What do you think of that count, Filson? That would be 1, 2. Getting ready to go to the moon. Does that work on Bitcoin? Not really. That count doesn't work on Bitcoin. Alright guys, I am pretty tired. I've offered all my ideas, guys. It's bullish or bearish, you know. Just keep in mind, you know, there's watch out for Black Swan event that's coming. We live in crazy times right now, and America has a missing president. He's missing. We've got another guy who's been assassination attempt, and we got crazy stuff going on in the world. So you know, watch how the markets react to whatever craziness is still yet to come. I think there's more craziness to come. So what do you guys think about what's going on in the world? You as you guys as excuse me, skeptical or just on edge as I am as far as just what this world's doing? Crazy. Bulls, watch out for a pullback here. Three-way pullback continuation. Bears, hey, let's look for a reversal after maybe this flat right here. Let's finish. We could go take this high, even, you know, impulse into that high and then reverse. So watch out for that count. 3, 3, 5. This could be a 1, 2, as long as this high doesn't get broken. So that's a recap of all the counts. So you got a 1, 2 to the downside as long as this high doesn't get taken out. If that high gets taken out, you can still have an A, B, and look for a C. That could still be that kind of a count. So that's a tricky count as well. Or it could be straightforward, and this is a three-way pullback. It is what it is. You got an impulse, you get a three-way pullback and continuation. Boom. Do you have to get that pullback? No. I mean, they can pump this all they want. This could have been the pullback right here. I don't think so, but it could be. I've seen it before. And they could pump up the jabs. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. But we're going to call it a night. I'm pretty tired. Thanks for joining me tonight. Hit the likes and appreciate you. Share the channel. Y'all have a fantastic night. All right. I am skeptical of a pump here, so just watch out. Be on the guard. Got a 5-wave shape here, so be careful. We'll talk to you later. Mr. Fairhill, I tell you what I'll do for you. I will put a chart. I'll do a video midweek on front USDT. So look for it in the next day or two. All right, guys. See ya. Have a great night.